We still don't fit in this chair. Good
Good
morning,
morning. What's
guys.
up, y'all?
We are coming to you live again from Houston. From what hotel is this? I don't know. It's one of those little budget hotels, and we're gonna be moving to a different one today. So we're gonna keep today's live stream short because we got to check out of this one and move.
More so than anything, thank you all for joining us this morning. I hope you all aren't tired of Eat Baila Travel. We've been with y'all 4 days in a row. They're probably like, oh, give us some videos already.
I
But
know.
thank you all so much for your support, love. We love you all so much.
Yeah. And we
Um,
do have more content coming up still that we're working on editing. We may have something from Uruapan, Michoacan as we're editing and seeing how much content we were able to do. Like I mentioned before, I got sick that day. So I don't even know if we've really finished that video. We're going to see what we can put together.
we also got a resort. We normally don't stay at resorts, but when we got the opportunity to stay with Travel and Leisure in Cihuatanejo at Cala de Mar, it was an unbelievable experience that we
Mhm.
want to share with you all. So
So
we have
that
that
vlog is
one.
coming up.
Jenny's finally gonna finish the wine vlog. I will too. We're finally gonna finish the wine vlog this upcoming year for sure. And we have my dad's my roots in San Luis Potosi, which is a very exciting video for me and my family. We recently filmed that, so we still got a good amount of
We got
Mexico
content.
content coming up. At least a month of worth of
Yep.
content, and of course, following catching you up with Colombia as well. So we're not gonna leave those roots
Yes.
from Mexico. So we're super excited to keep sharing
So that's
all
what
of that.
this fourth and final Vlogmas episode is about. It's about what we're looking forward to in 2023 and particularly what we're most nervous about. We do have an announcement to make that we're excited but very nervous for. We've talked about a lot of things these past few days.
Yeah, so one of them is that we decided to keep the channel. And at the end of the video, you'll find out of something else that motivated us to keep the channel and go even a step further. We're also leaving Mexico, and we found our home in Mexico. So,
And now that means that we got a lot of things going on for 2023.
and it's super exciting because we have y'all to motivate us and keep us going, and of course ourselves to keep pushing to, uh, just stay with Eat
Yes.
Ballet Travel.
But before we get into all that, I want to ask you all what you're thinking about for the new year. What are your goals for 2023? What are your New Year's resolutions? You know what they say that if you write them down, you're more likely to make them a reality. But I think when you share them with a community, you're also more likely to hold yourself accountable. So what are your New Year's resolutions? And while you write them down, we'll share some of ours. um, some of ours, or at least mine, are, I think we're both on the same page, to become really solid or at least, intermediate salsa caleña dancers. And when I say caleña, I'm referring to the Cali, Colombia style salsa dancing because we started taking classes last time we were there. We took like 10 hours of classes last time we were in Cali, but we haven't practiced as much since. And we're hoping to dive back into that and bring enough skill where we can share that with all of you and others.
I don't necessarily have the salsa caleña as one of my goal sets for. I know we're going to Cali and all, but my thing is to become a better overall dancer. Which is there's so many different varieties that you can dance in salsa. Like there's caleña, colombiana, caleña,
Cuban.
cubana, on two, on one. So my thing is I need to master dancing on one and on two.
You're diverse.
If I'm speaking a different language to y'all, it's because it is if you're not a dancer. But I like salsa caleña, but at the same time, for me, it's all about rhythm, it's all about timing. So I want to perfect that so that I can teach it to other people, not just so much a specific kind, but more on timing. Kelly, no, we are not hungover, but we might as well be because we got up yesterday at 3:50 in the morning
to catch our flight from Mexico City
city
to
to Houston, and we stayed up the entire time. And tonight we slept about.
We slept the 8 hours, but I feel like it's gonna take a whole week to recover from the crazy past those desvelos, the lack of sleep from the past few days, ever since the quinceañera or before that even.
Yeah,
It's just been on little sleep.
Yeah, we've been sleeping like an average of 4 to 5 hours a night.
Let's see. What are you guys up to in 2023? Thank you for your warm welcomes to Texas.
Puerto Escondido, yeah. My home.
2020, oh my gosh, 2023 going to Puerto Escondido. Good job, Kelly. You're going to love it. Catherine's New Year's resolution to work smarter, not harder. I'm with you on that one. I'm going to figure that out too. I'm constantly working on how to improve my workflow, efficiencies, and work
This is
smarter.
Working in our third year of Baila travel. We have to work smarter, not harder.
Mm-hmm. Buenos dias, Glow. Oh, is Houston your former town? She's in Paradise in Vallarta. Jealous. It's actually pretty cold here in Houston. I was not expecting
it's freezing,
60s, 60-degree weather.
Well, it's like 40s
at night, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's pretty cold.
But whatever.
Wilfredo says their goal is to permanently move to Querétaro. Yes. Many years dream, retiring this year, becoming a more attainable goal. That much closer, that much closer. I hope you're able to make it a reality. Are you looking for a house? Are you going to be renting, buying? What's going on? Did either of you dance professionally or in school?
We didn't dance professionally, but we did go to school for a significant amount of time. I think
like there's a dance academy in Chicago called Latin Rhythms. Shout out to them because we've had
that's where
we've made amazing friends and learned a lot, improved a lot. They're a wonderful dance academy if you're in Chicago and interested.
Yeah, they have some of the best instructors in all of Chicago for sure. And before we had Baila Travel, we used to try to take 2 to 3 trips a year, and we would base our trips based on congresses or festivals. So like we went to the Bachata Paris Festival.
Yes, in Paris.
In Paris, yeah. And then we went to different Turkey, Chicago. There's so many there's salsa festivals everywhere.
And if you've never been to a dance festival or a salsa congress or anything like that, they are usually like 3-day events with workshops and lessons all day long, and then dance socials almost all night long.
Almost every country that we visited, about close to 20 of them, we've found salsa dancing, which is really cool. Even in Thailand,
Vietnam.
In Vietnam, we found like a dance in the middle of the street.
Like it was like a park.
Yeah, cool.
It was so cute. The cute little story time here as we were walking. It was like a group of older. It was probably like a social group of older
like retirees,
and they were dancing cha cha cha, and we were just like amazed to see local Vietnamese people dancing Latin music, and so we just kind of sat down to watch them. And they had a little donation box to help pitch in if you wanted to. And we were just like, wow, this is beautiful. So we sat down to watch them, and they approached us, and, in the best English they could, I think they were like, this salsa. And we were like, yeah, you can go. I think they assumed or thought that we didn't know what it was, but it was cute. So we just watched a little bit, and then we joined them to dance for like the next song.
And then it was weird because it went from like us not knowing to them recording us.
They stopped to watch us, and they were like, whoa, these people know what they're doing.
And then it went from that, and then I started DJing, and
we made friends even though we spoke nothing in common of the same language.
So that's the beauty of dance. And then in Thailand, we're in the island of Koh Samui. Like it's a really small island, and there was salsa dancing. It's like it's everywhere.
So it's a beautiful thing. It's something that makes us happy, and it allows us to connect with people all over the world, even when we don't speak the language.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the question of how we learned to dance. Like in my family, like we never grew up with salsa or bachata. My family is like from Zacatecas, and they're big on tamborazo and banda, and they don't really dance. So I've just something I personally have always enjoyed. And I think in college, I started joining social groups. I tried joining like a performance group, but I realized that performance wasn't really for me. I'm a social dancer, not a performer. So then I just kind of focused on building my social dancing skills.
And I grew up with salsa all my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jose and Linda, hi guys. Their goal is to finally buy a car here in Mexico after walking everywhere for 5 years. Walking's not a bad thing. Walking's wonderful.
We love it.
But depending on where you are, not having a car can be challenging to move around.
For sure.
But walking is good. Even when you have your car, I hope you keep walking.
Hola, Mark from Two Travelers in Mexico. Thank you for joining us all 4 days. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Saludos.
Hey Matangi, Hakuna Matangi. She's learning, she's gonna learn super beginner salsa dancing. Yay! Move to Mexico, get better at Spanish. The list is endless. All
Awesome.
very good goals.
We hope,
Cheering you on.
we hope we can help you with that salsa dancing,
Yeah,
Matangi.
that would be fun. Cindy's gonna look for an online job so she can move to Mexico. Yes, that's
Cindy
the way to do it.
K.
Glow, her goal is to achieve another financial goal that she set for her family and travel to Europe on the countryside of France. Oh, that sounds lovely. What countryside are we talking? Like the East Coast, West Coast,
Highly, highly recommend Bordeaux.
Bordeaux? If you like wine.
Bordeaux, and then heading over to San Sebastian, Spain. So delicious.
What was the first place you traveled to and what convinced you that you could do it?
That's a really good question. The first place that I traveled to was Mexico as a kid. My parents were, thanks to my parents, shout out to my parents, Lino and Rebecca, if you're watching. Thanks to my parents, I've been traveling for a good chunk of my life. My parents were always about making sure that I connected with my roots since I was little. So in the summer, we would go to San Luis, and in the winter, we would go to Veracruz. So I always stayed connected to Mexico some way, somehow. Even though I'm not as outgoing as I am now, when I was I was super shy and timid. As an adult, I can appreciate all the efforts that my parents made to take me back to my roots, and what convinced me. Well, I'll let Jenny.
No,
Tell
go
you.
ahead, go ahead.
What convinced me that we can do it was when we actually went to Colombia, and we stayed at a hostel in Cartagena, and there's this Irish guy who had this beautiful hostel, and he lived there.
He lived at his hostel.
He had like 8 rooms, right? And then he had his apartment
His
room
suite.
right in front of it, like right in the middle of it, and it was gorgeous. And I was like, wow, like this guy is living in paradise, eating these delicious fruits,
And this is not his home country.
and that's not his home country. He speaks Spanish, but like I have the advantage of both, so I can do this. I can do this. And like we were in lockdown with him for an entire week because we couldn't go out.
Yeah, this was right as the pandemic was. This is March 2020. The pandemic was. We were talking about this yesterday too.
Yes.
Things were shutting down. Foreigners were not allowed to be wandering the streets unless you were heading straight to the airport to leave the country. So we were just on lockdown at the hostel for a few days. But we got to like really talk to the owner, and we felt inspired to do something like that, like maybe establish some sort of business in another country outside the U.S., somewhere where we can be happier and maybe in more of a tropical place. Wink, wink, Puerto Escondido.
But yeah, that lockdown changed things for me because we hung out with him the entire time, had beers, and he's like, "Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. I did it. You can do it." And I was like, you know what? You're right.
I feel like the pandemic was like as much of a tragedy it was for the world. It reawoke a lot of like what we want out of life, like those desires of what we want out of life. At least for us, I can imagine that it happened to a lot of people as well. Let us know if that's the case for you and like what epiphany. I mean, I feel like it was an epiphany for us.
Right.
Like, yes, we can do this. And then the pandemic was like, well, you're gonna have to wait. But here we are now.
But
like,
plan your time. Right?
Plan, right? It gave us time to plan, which is great. So that was it. My first trip, I mean, it was also with my mom to her hometown of Zacatecas, but my first traveling without my mom was right after senior year of high school, I guess right after I graduated, went on a school trip to Spain and France with my Spanish teacher. He was a very like strong influence for me, and he talked a lot about study abroad. I felt inspired to study abroad. So after that trip, in college, thankfully I had scholarships and financial aid to cover all of that for me. And I was able to go to Spain for a semester, and being out there without any family or friends, I realized I could do it too. I made lots of friends. That's where I really started to pick up dancing because I happened to live right across the street from a bar that had dancing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I was going out 4 nights a week. Oof, what it is to be 20 years old and be able to go out 4 nights in a row.
Like she's super old. Chill.
I can't do it anymore. I mean, that was 8 years ago for me now.
Well, you're about to do it. We're about to go to Cali, and there's dancing every
All
night.
right, so I'm about to be 20 years old again. So that's where I like my like skills for dancing really started to build, because they had free lessons at the beginning of each night, and then I came back to Chicago. No, actually, Kevin came to.
That's a story for another day, girl.
Story for another day. Okay, that's a good story. When Kevin came to visit me in Spain, that's a story y'all are gonna want to hear. We're gonna make a separate video about that in 2023. So that's what today is all about, talking about what to look forward to in 2023. One of the videos is gonna be how Jenny and Kevin became Jenny and Kevin, right?
How we met and everything.
How we met, how this all happened.
Wilfredo, saludos. My Boricua friend Wilfredo, what's up?
Salsa all the way from Puerto Rico. Oh my God, we had some of the best dancing in Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah, Puerto Rico's awesome. Dan, what's up, Dan? Dan, the new traveler is on.
The new travel
has joined us. What's up, man? Dan, if y'all never seen Dan's channel,
the new travel. We had a celebrity in the chat.
What's up? And Dan is awesome. We met Dan through a friend in Mexico City. We hung out and then ended up in Puerto Escondido together. Dan's a great guy. Yo, check out his channel. He's how do you say? He's like authentic. He's Dan's authentic. He just puts out really authentic content. So check him out. He got good stuff.
Have you thought about starting a dance school or teaching dance online? We have thought about opening up some sort of a dance school, especially in Puerto Escondido, where we felt like there wasn't much. There's I think it's growing. The salsa dancing is starting to grow. But while we were there, we started to build up, I guess, kind of a reputation for our dance classes. But it's like any muscle. If you're not using it, you lose it. And we've lost a lot of our skills, and we need to rebuild those if we wanted.
That was like the biggest like drive to move, is because like it's been like this.
Yeah, our dancing has been up and down, up and down. That's why we haven't been posting our dance videos to Patreon, because we're like, this is like we need to reinvest in our dance skills, time as well as classes, so that we can fairly offer something good. But for sure, yeah, we would love to do that. My sister's working. Hi, sister.
In case you're not getting your food at Olive Garden, it's because your waiter's watching. Eat Baila trash.
Good morning from Baja Malibu. Oh, hey, thank you for being here. I'm glad you enjoy our videos. Salsa is really big in Mexico City, and then we can maybe start it in Querétaro. There is, I believe, just one dance school in Querétaro, but we would love to just be a part of the dance scene for a little while before we started doing classes.
All right, y'all. Let's get back to our program, because we don't want to take up too much of your time.
Saturday. Okay, so here are some things to look forward to for 2023 in terms of Colombia content. We have a few ideas, but we definitely want to hear from you if there are any specific requests or ideas or suggestions you have for what kind of videos you think we should make while we're in Colombia. First example.
Number one is Cali. We're gonna showcase the beautiful city of Cali. There's so much there, like coffee. It's a pizza city, which is kind of interesting.
Really good pizza, yeah.
It's a pizza city. It's a salsa city. There's so many different variations of salsa. Salsa one, salsa caleña, salsa choque. There's even Mexican music in Cali. Mexican music is pretty big, that they've even made their own genre of Mexican music, which they call despecho. So there's so much to bring. We're going to definitely showcase Cali, hopefully make the people from Colombia proud. And then from there, we're going to bridge off to different cities that we would like to check out for sure.
Some, like, weekend trips, check out a few different places.
I would like to check out Medellin, or as they say over there, Medellin, Bogota, maybe we can check out Cartagena again. Cartagena, I think we know really well that we can go and capitalize on giving you a good overview of kind of like what we did, like we did when Michoacan
We
and
do
other
have
cities.
one vlog on Colombia. It was, I think, our second or third vlog ever on the channel.
But it's so bad.
It's bad. If you want to watch us be bad vloggers, it was
Yeah.
like our early days. Like we spent like a month filming and working on the first one, and then we spent like 2 weeks on the next one. So there's a huge difference in quality, because I think our Chicago vlog, which is our very first one, was pretty solid, and then our second one was just like rough. Why? Because we used footage that we took that we didn't know we were going to use as a vlog. We just took old footage. We sat down at a table. Remember, we had like our little coffee, and it was just like kind of funny if you just want to laugh at us.
Yeah. We're also going to make a video on how to find my sister-in-law a boyfriend in Colombia, because she's asking for it on the chat.
Really? Help find me a novio in Cali video. Like, okay, how to find a boyfriend? Oh my god.
Plastic surgery? No, definitely not. As they say, as my family says, no, we're not gonna get us carniceros to change our looks. We're also gonna do comparisons between the mercados, what they offer mercados in Colombia
versus
and
mercados in Mexico,
because there is a huge difference, specifically in Chile. Fruits, different fruits, different variety of meats, cuts.
Speaking of Chile, it would be cool to compare chiles, like peppers, like what peppers
salsas
are like.
So this is where it gets confusing, right? Because salsa in Colombia is dancing, and salsa in Mexico is food, and chile in Colombia is...
I don't think they use the word chile.
Yeah, chile in Colombia is what we consider spicy salsa, and chile in Mexico is used as a bad word.
Not really.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Whatever.
So, I mean, of course, this like it depends on what region you're in, but yeah.
Yeah, we're excited to make like some food comparison videos or contrasting videos, because it's hard to compare, right? Candy, we plan to take some spicy candy with us and see if we can find some innocent Colombians to try some candy and see what they record their reactions. I think that might be fun.
And more so just showcasing the culture of Colombia. There's so much culture, so many different, like we were in Cartagena and Cali, is completely different places. And the culture changes throughout the entire scope of Colombia, which is really, really, really cool.
Regionally. Yeah, just like Mexico, just like lots of countries. Cool. Platos nacionales for sure, cover some local dishes. What's the biggest contrast we've noticed between Mexico and Colombia? That's a good topic.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to answer that now, and I want to be able to answer it, especially.
Yeah, that's a question we'll definitely have in mind.
And of course, we're gonna aim to be, we're not gonna like dog anybody down. We're gonna make sure that we showcase the beauty, the nature, and be truthful as well. But the only thing I can say is that we're gonna have tortillas. So
that's another thing. Like we're gonna be cooking or trying to cook recipes that we're gonna be missing from Mexico. And that's one of the ideas I have for posting to Patreon, to give our Patreons a little more exclusive content, access to us trying and sometimes maybe failing at making some recipes and sharing. But that would be cool. Imagine, I feel a little ashamed. I don't know how to make tortillas by hand, but my little sister does. Yeah.
So that's why we invited her over to Colombia.
That's why she's coming to Colombia. She's gonna meet us up in January. She's gonna help us make a video on how to make tortillas. Right, sister, right? All right, guys. And then hopefully we get to also visit Karencita, right? Got Karen and Dave in Manizales, and do some collabs. So if you all have any requests or ideas for collabs, we'll definitely take those as well. But we also mentioned that we're going to be continuing to make Mexico related content while we're out there, because we have a lot of accumulated content that we just haven't had time to edit. We have a lot of ideas of things that we want to talk about. And those are things like more culture shocks. We've made one culture shock video, but we have a whole bunch more that we've been slowly recording, but we need to put together. That's something that we're going to work on while we're out there, Mexico specific culture shocks. And then we can do like Colombia culture shocks as well. covering how the process was to buy our land, how the process was to get our INE, the process to get our driver's license, a lot of those Mexico things, and then reflecting on a lot of things. We, having spent 2 years in Mexico, we've gained a lot of insight into things like what classism looks like, talking about more of those, I think, a bit more controversial topics. We've accumulated some thoughts on those things. So those are topics that we like to touch on even while we're in Colombia and reflecting on things back in Mexico. So what do you think about that? Are those things that you would find interesting? I know that the how to get INE and those how-to things may not be for everyone. So we had another idea.
This is crazy. And this is crazy because like we went from it was just not wanting to
let's just spill it. So here's what we're most nervous about in 2023. Well, first, it's like what's going to happen with our land in Puerto Escondido. We are working with architects to design something, but we don't know when we're going to be able to start building that and how long that's going to take. So that makes me nervous. That's always like a thing in the back of my mind. When we come back from Colombia, are we going to be renting in Querétaro? Are we going to be leasing? Are we going to be buying a house? One of those three things, probably, most likely, and we're not sure. So that's another thing that makes me nervous for 2023. Another thing is we're taking an ancestry DNA test, and those results will be available in probably sometime next month or early February. And I'm really nervous for that as well. Not just to find out like where my genes come from, because I don't have because I don't have a lot of communication with my father's side of the family. So I'm super curious about that lineage, and also because my parentage is a complicated situation, and I won't get into that right now, but I'm nervous about that. And I don't know, I haven't decided if that's something we're going to be sharing on YouTube or not. I don't know if that's something that you all care about, but that's something I'm personally excited, but also really nervous about. You're going to be taking the test too as well, right?
Yeah, and I'm excited for it.
We really, well, in his case, and we won't get into it a whole lot now, his mom has had like trouble with her father's lineage as well, knowing who her father really is. So that'll be interesting to learn more about that side of your family and lineage as well. Oh, so many things that to be nervous about. But all of that, I think another thing we're most nervous about, and call us crazy because we've gone back and forth on this, is that we think we really do want to start up a second channel. Call us crazy. Go ahead. Because we were just talking about quitting. I know.
I think we're hoping to launch a new channel in the year 2023. We're
not in January, maybe like March, April,
yeah, where we can kind of separate our two like big topics. Like one is going to be more eats, Baila, travel, food vlogs, culture, traveling, dancing.
And then that's what Eat Baila Travel has been mostly. But if you've noticed, every now and then we'll sprinkle the how to open a bank account as a Mexican American, your dual citizenship and things like that. And although those things are like, I think, good, they don't quite fit with the Eat Baila Travel theme. So we decided that we want to split that out a little bit and focus the second channel on being a specific resource for Mexican Americans who are interested in Mexico, or anyone who is looking for information on.
Yeah, like we got a lot of feedback that, one day we have a video where we're displaying Morelia, and then the next video, I don't know, we're talking about how to get an INE. It would be kind of a setback or a turnoff for our subscribers.
We don't want to alienate viewers who are not interested in that particular content, and we want to keep the Eat Baila Travel, and the second channel can be more like fun challenges, more personable stories, more like local interactions. And we're also even considering doing that channel in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
or at least like more bilingual as in, and from us, because a lot of our videos are already bilingual when we speak to locals, but we also want to practice making videos. Our Spanish isn't perfect. I know that a lot of you all talk about us being bilingual, but we still make a lot of mistakes. We still make up Spanglish words and screw up sentence structures. So that'll be interesting. One of the things I'm most nervous about is getting criticism from Mexicans or people who are more fluent in Spanish than we are about how messed up our Spanish is. But you know what?
I mean, we're getting criticism already for speaking English. So
we get a lot of comments from Mexicans that like, why aren't you making videos in Spanish, this and that, and I get it. And so I would like to try maybe with a second channel and see how that goes. So
Absolutely.
we hope that you'll join us there as well, because the content will be geared more towards like personal topics and
I think it'll be
conversations.
a little bit more of a miscellaneous but fun.
More fun topics.
Yeah, resources like the INE, all these videos that we've been holding up, and then like other fun stuff, like maybe we'll put the DNA test there, or once in a while maybe we'll make a Baila travel vlog fully in Spanish and put it there to see how it works, just to like
try something different and try to diversify what we're bringing to the YouTube world. So if you are interested in seeing our ancestry DNA results, yeah, that's somewhere that you might be able to find it. Or maybe we do like an English version on Eat Baila Travel and the Spanish version on the other one.
Yeah, so a little bit of everything. So
we're still trying to figure out exactly what that's going to look like. But yeah, let us know if that's something that you'd like to join us on, because I'm excited but also pretty nervous.
Yeah, I'm excited because I think it'll be a little bit more loose. Like we can be a little bit less structured in the sense where we're just like hanging out, talking, and put up a video that's more loose based and a little bit more natural, and then keep the nice, beautiful structure of like the Morelia video, the cultural video,
the travel videos, the food vlogs and things like that. Yeah.
So yeah.
Two travelers say, Jenny, I think you need to put Kevin to work at a street food cart and make a video to see how well he does, and question his customers to see if they are satisfied. Oh, that sounds like a great idea.
So I would rock that.
I think he might do okay. Yeah.
Maybe I'm too confident.
Maybe we can go back to Quiroga and Michoacan and ask them to give you a job for the day and like just let you take over the stand.
I'm not working by myself though. She gotta learn how to make tortillas by hand.
Oh no!
Y'all want to put me up on fire? I'm taking.
Let's see. On average, how long does it take you to edit a video?
It depends. I think like when we're really structured and when we stay for an extended amount of time in a place and we do research and be able to get an idea of what we want to put, it'll take us, I don't know, a couple of days to film and then to edit.
I guess the answer is depends on how well we prepped beforehand. And there are many times where we just show up and like, let's see what happens. Let's see what we get out of today. And the editing is a lot more work on the back end because we didn't plan and we're just dealing with a lot of footage. But those videos are important too, like the Quiroga video that we just about us making taking a huge risk. That one we didn't really have a plan for, and it was an amazing day, and we got like an amazing video out of it. So we don't always have to plan, but it does help for editing. So sometimes editing can take up almost 3-4 days, like full days.
I would say,
and that's just editing.
I'd say Quiroga took about 30 to 35 hours just editing.
Yeah, because and then we've got publishing, and then you've got subtitles, and then all the other things that go along with posting a video, prepping, promoting.
And then like the Morelia video, we filmed it in one full day, like in 10 hours. And
we edited that in like 2 days.
2 days, but that's because about 15 hours at most.
Because we spent a lot of time planning and preparing for it. So really it varies. These things take a lot of work regardless. Yeah, so we thank you when you leave comments on those videos and share your thoughts. Like it makes the work much more worth it. Let's see. I'd be interested to hear your honest takes about classism in Mexico. Cool. Yes, share your DNA info here. Follow what your authority wants you to do. Who's our authority? Hi, Adolfo. It is so funny how you two finish each other's sentences.
It's annoying sometimes.
Yes, bilingual. I need to learn more Spanish. People are so judgmental. Don't sweat the small stuff. Thank you, Jose and Linda. 2 channels sounds smart. I'm considering the same travel versus the everyday or behind the scenes. Yeah, just to kind of like split that up because I know not everyone is super interested in the behind the scenes, and then not everyone is super interested in the travel destinations, and we can give a little bit of both. Your Mexican American experience is unique and has potential to a unique audience. You have some great ideas, dance videos, yes. The Quiroga video was like a mini documentary. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun with that. If your second channel has more practical insight about moving to Mexico instead of touring, then that sounds great.
Yeah, that's exactly, I think, what we're going to aim for.
Yeah, so that when we settle like in one place, we can focus more on posting those videos there because we won't be traveling so much anymore. You should ask people about gentrification in Mexico. Absolutely. Remind your videos not to skip the ads, viewers not to skip the ads.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Silvia. I appreciate that. A lot of people don't know this, but the way that we are able to make income from YouTube and be able to dedicate time and resource into YouTube is because of the ad revenue that we get from YouTube. So when you see commercials and ads on the videos, that's us getting paid a small percentage of the money that those brands pay to put their ads there. And if you let the ad play or if you watch the entire ad, then that helps increase the amount of money we get. So if you would like to support us in that and let the videos play, if you don't mind, you're more than welcome to do so because that does help us out. So thank you, Silvia, for that reminder.
I also understand if you skip an ad, it's like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I've seen some ads that are like 40 minutes, 30
Me
minutes.
too. Sometimes I
It's
let
like,
them
man,
play
you're
like
making me watch a movie. What the hell?
sometimes I let them play like a minute or two, and then okay, I'm done. I'm gonna skip. Yes.
And we need a blooper video. You know what? A blooper video is a good idea.
Maybe we can put one together really quick before the end of the year. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I think a cool blooper 2022 video. We're gonna put that on our notes.
Okay.
But yeah, that's
it for today.
We're about to get kicked out of this hotel room in 22 minutes, so we gotta get going.
Thank you so much for joining us for this Vlogmas series. We love hanging out with you and hearing from you. Don't forget to hit the like button on the video because that helps us as well. If you're interested in seeing some of our older videos, now is a good time to catch up and binge watch others. You can go to our playlist and see what we've got on playlist. Check out our earlier videos and laugh at how bad we used to be. We like to do that. And that's it.
And that's it. I want to wish everybody happy holidays. I
Merry
hope you
Christmas,
enjoy your
Happy
time
New
with your
Year.
family. From Jenny and Kevin and Eat Baila Travel, thank you so much for a great 2022. I just don't know if we're going to go live again this year, but might as well get it all out there. Thank you so much for joining us these 4 days. We really appreciate it from the bottom of our heart. Se cuidan, se bañan y nos vemos hasta la próxima. Ciao.